Number one, eczema is not a gut issue.
Hi, dermatologist here. Eczema isn't just a gut issue, it's a complex inflammatory skin disease.
Number two, eczema is not genetic.
For most people, yeah, eczema is not this thing where like you have one gene mutation and then you have eczema. However, there are a lot of genetic links to eczema. Somebody's genetic risk to developing it is probably dictated by multiple genes, so that's what we call polygenetic. And a lot of those genes have to do with inflammation.
Number three, you are not stuck with it. And if you clear it out of your system, your kids won't get it.
A lot of people are stuck with it. Some people have eczema in childhood that ends up not having it in adulthood, but it is a chronic disease that is incurable. There can be single gene mutations that are heritable that do cause eczema. Chief among them is one in a gene called filaggrin. And like I said, chronic disease, you can't be cured of it. So curing yourself so that your kids don't get it isn't a thing.
So, what does eczema come from? Eczema comes from viral overload in our liver, not our gut, our liver, and a mixture of copper and mercury in our body.
Excuse me, what? What viruses? Like, can you name the viruses that are infecting people's livers and giving them eczema? And what is it? Is it the viruses or the metals? Like, where's the connection?
This is why you will find people who have been working on their gut for years and still have eczema or eczema flare ups. It's because it's coming from the liver. When you heal your liver, and that doesn't mean you have liver problems, okay? You can take a blood test for your liver and it be just fine. We're not talking about that. We're talking about viral overload in your liver. So when you clear your liver, you heal your liver, you get the virals out of your liver, your gut will also heal itself.
Okay, so there are these unnamed viruses in the liver that are not detectable at all that we need to be treating, and that will cure eczema? Something's not adding up.
It's not genetic. Now, how come sometimes a mom will have it or a dad will have it and then their kids have it? Well, that is because viruses and metals, pesticides, even like DDT has been found to be now in 3 generations. Those things can be passed down.
So again, eczema is very much genetic. Maybe not in the way that she thinks of genetics. But again, what are these viruses that we're passing on to our children? And she's saying if the father or the mother has it, like, I mean, metals can cross the placenta, but like, are you saying somebody's sperm is carrying metals that the child then has all their life? Like this, like it doesn't make logical sense.
In fact, any woman who's taken any form of birth control will be copper toxic, even if they've done IVF. They will be copper toxic. And when you're pregnant, you copper dump. Now, it's not the only way, that's just an example.
It's an example that's not true.
So, how do we fix it? Well, my name is Andrea Melendez. I'm a homeopath, and I've been helping people treat their eczema and psoriasis for 13 years.
Why did it take you so long to tell us this?
So the first thing that we do is use homeopathic remedies. Homeopathic remedies are safe, non-toxic, they don't have side effects, they're not addictive, they are not a steroid. They get the body to heal itself and to pull itself back to its proper alignment. Whereas a lot of medications, steroids, things like that, they are just suppressing symptoms. So they're basically taking your symptoms and just like shoving it back down into your body. And eventually it's going to come back up. And usually when you're doing that, you're only making things worse. Like that fire underneath there is getting angrier and angrier.
So yeah, when you give medication for a chronic illness, you are suppressing symptoms. Like, that's what you want to do. You want to improve people's quality of life. What she's saying about symptom suppression and then that making the disease worse, that's not an evidence-based take. In a lot of inflammatory diseases, we do know that inflammation begets more inflammation. So treating the condition is great overall. She then goes on about diet, stuff that sounds like disordered eating to me, just so that you're not feeding the viruses. Okay.
You can get the full protocol, including the homeopathic remedies, because those are not available over the counter or in stores. You need a homeopath to get access to them. So you can get the full protocol. It's right over there. You just go on my page and you'll see it underneath the message button. It will dive in even further and deeper than this TikTok.
And of course, at the end, she's trying to sell something. A word about homeopathy. The homeopathic medicine is not medicine, it is pseudoscience. A lot of people confuse homeopathy with like traditional medicine or like complementary alternative medicine, different cultural practices. Homeopathy is not that. Homeopathy emerged around 1800. It was started by a German named Samuel Hahnemann. Basically, the idea behind it is that to cure a disease, you need to introduce a substance that produces the same symptoms. So, I guess for eczema, you need to give people something that would give them itch or a skin rash. However, these homeopathic preparations are diluted, like a lot. You have that substance that would give you the same symptom profile that you're looking to treat, and you're diluting it and diluting it and diluting it and diluting it until you can't detect that initial substance that you were diluting. You give that to a person, and that's supposed to treat their disease. Oh, yeah, it's pseudoscientific because you're basically like giving people straight up water, sugar pills, etc. It's never been shown to treat anything convincingly. It's basically people selling snake oil. Who knows? Maybe they believe in it, but for these people to call themselves like a homeopathic physician, I think is a disgrace. So again, eczema is a chronic inflammatory skin disease, which should be treated by a real physician, not by some quack that's trying to sell you potions to cure like some imaginary virus. I've had it.